At the start of the 20th century, the English stage was caught between two different visions of what theatre should be. For the reigning actor-managers of the West End, the goal was simple: commercial success through the creation of a total, glittering illusion. Sir Herbert Beerbohm Tree was the master of this style. For his Shakespearean revivals, he famously carpeted the stage with real grass and released live rabbits to create a living, breathing landscape on stage. These productions offered a spectacular retreat from the world, focusing on jaw-dropping visuals that kept the era's social tensions safely outside the theatre doors. At the same time, musical comedy was becoming a massive commercial industry. Producer George Edwards built his empire on a reliable mix of light plots, catchy melodies, and large chorus lines. The Gaiety Girls became the centerpiece of this industry, turning their elaborate stage costumes into a global standard for Edwardian fashion and beauty. The sheer success of these formulaic spectacles left a void for audiences seeking more than light entertainment, and a new movement of writers was preparing a response. Between 1904 and 1907, a radical group of artists began to organize a counter-movement at the Royal Court Theatre in Sloane Square. Harley Granville Barker led this shift by moving away from the star system. He favored a naturalistic ensemble style of acting that prioritized the integrity of the script over the ego of a lead manager. This new drama took its cues from Henrik Ibsen, focusing on characters who spoke and acted like real people, rather than theatrical caricatures. These productions centered on a play of ideas, where characters debated topics like poverty and class hypocrisy with a directness that often stunned the audience. George Bernard Shaw became the movement's most famous voice, using his wit to critique social institutions in plays like Major Barbara and Man and Superman. By stripping away the visual distractions of the West End, the royal court forced its audience to look at the world they actually lived in. This new realism faced a constant threat from the Lord Chamberlain. Because of a law dating back to the 18th century, this single government official held the total power to ban any play for any reason, with no right of appeal. Playwrights launched a campaign against this system, leading to a massive parliamentary inquiry in 1909, where they publicly challenged the government's absolute right to control their art. While the censorship laws weren't immediately overturned, the inquiry clearly proved that the new drama was now a serious force that the government could no longer ignore. The real-world power of this movement became clear through John Galsworthy's play Justice. The play featured a long, silent scene depicting the mental toll of solitary confinement in prison. After seeing a performance, the Home Secretary, Winston Churchill, was so moved by the depiction that he ordered immediate changes to the national prison policy. This was the moment the new drama proved its worth, using its observations of society to directly influence the laws of the country. The era reached its peak in the spring of 1914 with Shaw's Pygmalion. When the lead character used a common profanity on stage, it broke the long-standing rules of Edwardian decorum and became a box office sensation. In the month of August 1914, this lively period of creative debate was interrupted by the outbreak of the Great War. By the time the lights dimmed across London, the theatre had already been transformed. It had firmly left behind the grand illusions of the Victorian era to become a reflection of the modern world. This was brought to you by Stalls or Circle. Thank you for listening.